Hi, my name is Marvin Heyman of Marvin Heyman and Associates, author of the ebook U.S. Federal Government Design Build Strategies for Success. We help you design and build your business to find, win, and successfully perform U.S. federal government contracts. Today we're going to talk about sole source procurements. They're also known as circumstances permitting other than full and open competition. Full and open competition, of course, is what the government strives for because that's what they believe is the most fair to ensure that the government's getting the best deal. However, there are reasons why the government wants to do things under sole source procurements or go directly to a company. These are the reasons, basically 7 reasons. One responsible source. Well, what is one responsible source? One responsible source is that if your company does something so unique and so innovative that the government wants to purchase what you are doing or what you are selling, they can come directly to you. Let's give you an example of this. An artist decides he's going to do a sculpture, and the government wants to pay him a commission to do that sculpture. They do this through the one responsible source, sole source procurement. Of course, change orders, if you had an existing contract and you wish to they wish to do something different, the government wishes to add something to their contract or take something away, they'll do a change order. And they justify that change order, of course, under one responsible source. It would make no sense for them to bring somebody else in to work next to you or after you're finished to do some changing of the work. So basically, they just give the work to you under the only one responsible source clause in the Federal Acquisition Regulations. Also, if an agency is going to be expecting some delays in their mission, then they can use the only one responsible source to help them make sure that their mission is accomplished. The next sole source reason is urgency, and it's specifically called unusual and compelling urgency. For example, 9/11. The 9/11 tragedy brought a bunch of projects that were done by unusual and compelling urgency. I've got several projects from my company as a result of this. The government basically knew that we did good work, and we were regular government players in the market, and they came to us and said, we've got this situation we need to do. Can you come over and design and build this project for us? Absolutely. We went there and did that. The next reason is international agreement. Now, this doesn't happen every day, but this deals directly with foreign countries. So when our country wants to do business with another country, and that other country, for example, is paying for that service, we're building a building in Colombia, for example, for the Colombians, then we can go directly to various companies to help do that type of thing. So this doesn't happen to a lot, but it is there so that we can move forward quickly on projects assisting foreign countries. The next is called industrial mobilization, engineering development, or research capability, or expert services. Whew, big. Okay, what's going on there? That our government builds things for themselves. They will do things like rebuild tank motors or repair tanks or do other things. They may build weaponry for themselves, for example. They may own the facilities and hire a operating contractor to do that for them. In these facilities, if there's a national emergency and they need to maintain production, they can use this sole source reason to continue things moving forward. Or this particular sole source reason goes, as you might know, we do a lot of work with nonprofit companies and schools, universities to do federally funded programs. And we can use this sole source justification to continue with that research or development. And then finally, expert witnesses. The government will pull in expert witnesses for their own benefit to help them resolve issues, especially in court. So they have that freedom using this sole source justification to go and hire those expert witnesses. Next is by statute. Now, what is by statute? If the government wishes to purchase things that our federal prison industry builds through the company called Unicor, they can go directly to Unicor and purchase items. Now, if you're a qualified nonprofit agency, for example, for the blind or for other severely disabled individuals, the government can purchase things directly from those organizations using the sole source justification by statute. Others that fall into that category are the government printing office. These are the folks who do all the printing of all the congressional records on behalf of the government, and they take care of passports. The government goes directly to them by statute to get this work done. The 8A program is also underneath the statute program. 8A program is limited by size of project. There's not an unlimited amount of work they can give to 8A companies, but it's through this sole source procurement by statute is why they give things to the 8A companies. Same thing with the hub zone companies, historically underutilized business zone companies. They can sole source work to them. And those businesses that fall under the Veterans Benefit Act of 2003. So this would be the service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, I believe. So they can come directly to those types of businesses, hub zone businesses, 8A businesses, for example, the Veterans Benefits Act of 2003 type businesses, and give work directly to them. Now, national security is the sixth reason. Basically, they can, if they don't want to compromise the national security of what's going on, they can justify national security as being a sole source reason. And finally, public interest. This authority may be used when none of the others above apply. This basically has to be approved by Congress. And what happens here, the process is that a contracting officer needs to have something done. And if a full and open competition doesn't make sense for this particular procurement, then the contracting officer then must pick a reason. This is a reason to do sole source procurement, and then he's going to have to write a justification for the particular reason. And sometimes he can pick two. When I was doing, I was one responsible source, for example, because we were in a building, and it was done through urgency. So they used two reasons. But the contracting officer basically has to stake their reputation and their certification or licenses or whatever they call that on the line when they do this, because it's open for scrutiny. And if they find that they are abusing this privilege, this contracting officer, of course, can get himself into a lot of legal hot water. So this is a big deal for contracting officers to go out on the limb this way. They're really putting their career out there. And but the way these, for example, the way this 8A thing works, or the hub zone thing works, or the way the one responsible source works, is that you're out there working at a government job site. You're doing something. Either you're providing a service, a janitorial service, landscaping service. You may be doing some kind of accounting service or whatever it is. And the government wants to do something over in another part of a military base, for example. Well, if you're doing a good job for them, the chances are that they'll come to those people first, those contractors first that they already know or have a relationship with. It is highly unlikely that the government is going to call you up out of the blue and say, I want you to do this work and we're going to do it sole source. It just doesn't happen that way, unless, of course, it falls into this one responsible source. You provide something so unique that they'll probably do something like that. But in the meantime, for the rest of us, it just doesn't happen that way. 99% of the time, everything's going to be done through full and open competition. So the 1% of the time, things are done through sole source procurements. It's not really a way to build a marketing plan on a 1% deal. So there's my advice to you guys. I hope you found this interesting. And if you want to find more information about everything I'm talking about, and more information about me and my company and what we do, www.feddesignbuild.com, F-E-D, designbuild.com. And while you're there, hit the Insider Secrets tab, and what you'll find is a video series, 4 video series actually. You're going to find a complete set of videos for design contracts, design build contracts, service and maintenance contracts, as well as construction and job order contracts. It starts from the very basics and very simple language, doesn't get into a lot of FAR language and a lot of legalistic type things. It's all common sense type things that I've learned over the past 30 years. So feddesignbuild.com, And I'm Marvin Heyman with Marvin Heyman and Associates. I would appreciate down below here, there's a place to put comments. Please put comments. We help you design and build your business to find, win, and successfully perform U.S. federal government contracts. And happy contracting.